Yo, it's good. Happy Saturday. Uh, if you're a Colorado fan, not so happy. If you're a Stanford fan, you're ecstatic today. Last night, the game came on, and I had a gut feeling, but I went against my gut feeling when I made my prediction. So today, I'm just gonna make a whole separate video for this. I'll do the other recaps later on tonight or tomorrow, depending on how long the games go. But yeah, let's get right into it. So, yeah, that was an incredible comeback. One thing we learned these new time rules. Hey, they don't matter if you can score, right? If you can score quick enough, you can come back. People were talking about, oh, these the new clock rules are going to affect games. When you're down big, you might have to have a big comeback. Stanford proved it's possible. You know what I mean? And I never felt that way about the clock rules. I just figured, in my opinion, teams would have to adjust. You can't run. You'd actually have to run with some tempo. You can't have the clock and the chain. The chain won't save you anymore. So if you get a first down, they spot the ball, and that's it. It's time to go. Um, what they used to do is they spot the ball and they make sure the chains were set, and then they would run the clock. So that doesn't exist anymore, except for like the final 2 minutes of the half. So yeah, Stanford, congratulations, hell of a comeback. Colorado, that may be the end of your season, if we're being honest. We knew they weren't going to play for any kind of conference title hopes, but we at least expected a bowl game. That may be in jeopardy, and I'll get into the schedule a little later. But first of all, let me get into my pick. So I picked Colorado the win 35-24. Um, that was completely wrong. Um, in so many different ways. I can't fathom it. The money line was Colorado 13. This says 13. Okay, so last night I did the video, it said 12 and a half. Now it says 13. It didn't matter. They didn't cover. They lost. Over under was 58. That was over. Um, I think I said I would have taken. I think if you got 59 on the dot, because that's my score was equal to 59. Um, but yeah. Anyway, none of that. We just you can throw all that out the window. So let me give you my thoughts on the game. So the first half, Colorado. I don't know what it was. I said in my preview video, I didn't believe Colorado was ever going to find that complete game, and they still haven't found a complete game. It was just in reverse. They came out like gangbusters in the first half. In the second half, they didn't do anything. Usually, the game start really slow, and then they pick it up at the end. It was completely different this time. This is actually the only game this year where they actually started out fast, other than like the TCU game. But they were fast offensively and defensively. They shut them out 29-0 in the first half. Um, Everything was smooth sailing. So what happened? I missed basically the whole third quarter. After it was 29-0, I think a little bit, probably like a few minutes. No, I don't even think I made it to halftime. I think I fell asleep right before halftime. I woke up like in an hour. Sorry, sorry, my phone went off. Maybe like 30 minutes later, I guess, or like four. No, it had been like an hour later, I guess. I woke up and I looked at my screen and it said 29-19. I was like, whoa, what happened? They Colorado just stopped playing. And then, so I stuck around, watched the fourth quarter in overtime, and they just they didn't do anything offensively. It was ridiculous. Defensively, this is the second time this year this has happened. They've let some guy basically just they ran quick slants the whole rest of the game, and I don't understand how they still have not adjusted to this. This is how that dude from Colorado State had. I think he had like 200 yards. No, he had like 180 yards, 190 yards in that game. But still, it's like every time they drop back, he takes like 3 steps back, boom, throws the ball, and he's catching it. And part of that, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but they are so bad at tackling. They just I don't understand, bro. I really don't understand. They have not fixed anything since Colorado State. Defense is still bad. They're still not rushing the ball. You see on the screen, the leading rusher was Shador with 37 yards rushing. Not a damn thing. He had 40 yards passing and 5 touchdowns, but that's only because the game went to overtime. I think he got the bulk of that in the first half, if I'm not mistaken. The dude on the other side, once again, they turned that guy into a damn Heisman candidate because they just let him and Io Manor just run ruckshot. You see the yardage. The Io Manor had 294 yards receiving. Daniels, the quarterback, had 396 yards. 200 of his yards, basically over, was that like 70% of his yardage went to that one guy. The other 100 yards went to everyone else. Stanford didn't run the ball particularly well either. But I mean, it doesn't really matter if in the shootout. But Jesus Christ, man. It's like they make some of these quarterbacks look like goddamn, they're going to end up being like top 5 draft picks at this point. They're turning these receivers into Blitnikoff finalists. It doesn't make any sense. I don't want the whole end of the game. I'm looking and I'm like, okay, this needs to stop. Okay, quick slant. Okay, cool. Oh, he run the slant. Oh, okay, cool. He catch the ball. It would not be an issue, like I said, if they tackle. They're 2-3 yards. These 2 and 3 yard slant routes are going for like 10 to 12 because they're not making tackles. And at that point in the game, it's not about size and strength. It's about heart and want and will. You got to want to tackle the guy. I know you're tired, but damn, man, everyone's tired. Stanford's tired too. They had to come back from 29 points down. You don't think they're tired? They're still out there running their offense and scoring points and producing. That fatigue thing is a wash. You can't use that excuse because both teams had to exhaust a lot of energy to win this game. Colorado was playing not to lose, and Stanford was playing with nothing to lose, basically. So, I don't know, man. This is the second game. This is the second game this year where they got off the hook last against Colorado State, basically because they made a defensive play in overtime. Otherwise, that would have kept going. Who knows what could have happened? They might have lost that game too. And I told y'all at that point in the season, they had to beat Colorado State because the week after Colorado State, they had Oregon and then USC. They couldn't afford to lose that game and then lose the next 2. They'd be 2-3. Could you imagine they lost them 2 games? And then they played Arizona State. They are very close, right? They are very close to being 3-4. And like I said, luckily they're still above 500. But I'm going to explain in a second. The upcoming schedule doesn't really favor them, which is why this game was very important when it comes to bowl eligibility. They win this game, they have a bye. They don't play next week, but they come back and they play. Oh my God, who do they play? Somebody on the road. UCLA. They play UCLA on the road, and then they play back at home against Oregon State, and then they play. I'm trying to remember what they showed us last night. They play Oregon State, then they play Arizona. Arizona is probably the one team where they should. Well, I mean, you can't say they should win because they were supposed to beat Stanford. and that didn't happen. Then they finished with who was it? Was it Washington State and in Utah? And those are both on the road, and those are hostile environments. And I just don't think anything is really going to change. They are who they are at this point of the season. 7 games in, this is the team you're going to get. They don't run the ball particularly well. They don't tackle well. Um, Everything is either Shador or bust. That guy's out there throwing 40 yards a game, and they've lost 3 games already. That just is insane. That's just crazy. He averages like 400. I think he averages like 400 yards a game passing, if I'm not mistaken. And they're still a sub 500 team, which is criminal. But yeah. So anyway, let's get into what I was talking about with the schedule. So I want to just get a little bit more into the schedule. I saw this part of this clip last night. Basically, he's questioning if his team loves the game or they like the game. And yeah, I get it, but some of that's on him too. Some of his play call and decision making is very, very suspect. But I think a lot of people they fell in love with the guy, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, he's a very likable guy. He's a very easy guy to fall in love with, but you still got to be objective with him. And I think people aren't looking at him objectively. He's had a lot of games with very questionable time management and play call. And like I said, I'm looking at the schedule. The USC game, they had a chance if they had ran some tempo and stopped running. I think in that game, I don't know what it was. I was thinking to myself, maybe they thought there wasn't going to be enough time to actually come back. So let's run some plays. Let's try to get the running game going to push it into the next week. And I was like, yeah, I guess that would make sense. But they still had a fighting chance to win. All they had to do was go down and score. And the way USC defense was playing, they weren't stopping anything. You're supposed to punish a team that plays that bad defensively, not let them off the hook. And it's weird because the week before, they were down the whole game by 30 points, 42 points basically to the end. And they kept fighting. They kept slinging the ball around when they were down 42-0. But in this game, they were only down 14 points. And they started to want to run the ball instead of just, quick score. They could have scored in 2 minutes easily and put this at 7 points before they missed the then they went for they went with I forgot what happened in the game. I think it was they went for fourth down and missed it. And luckily USC missed the field goal, which gave them a chance anyway. It's just weird stuff, man. And then Colorado State, the overtime, they did it again in this overtime. They keep receiving the ball. I don't understand. You want to one thing with this team, they play too much offense. And you thinking that's crazy. But no, if you're on the field all day, that is exhausting. I know I brought up the point about fatigue, and I'm like, that's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. I get that, but it is a reason why you're not performing. Let them guys take a break. As much as I'm talking about the fatigue thing, you got to give them a break. Them guys been on the field all day. You gotta at some point you gotta trust that the defense can get you something. If they can't stop them, they can't stop them. It is what it is. You live with it. But I don't know. And then it was just a lot of weird stuff, especially at the end of the game. Travis looked outmatched. I won't even say he was tired. He just looked outmatched because, like I said, everyone was tired. But that guy, the receiver, just happened to make more plays. He made an incredible catch over him. He mossed the hell out of him in overtime. That was like, Jesus Christ, boy. Like, how you let that happen to you? Like, that's, jeez. That man deserved to win at that point. And yeah, I don't know if anyone noticed that during overtime, even at the end of the game. Okay, so there was a play where it was like 3rd and 4, and he missed an easy out route to freaking Travis Hunter, and he just oversold it. and the commentator was trying to bail him out by like, oh man, Travis should have came and made that play. Man, Shador never misses a play like that. Well, he missed the play there, which is very big. If they had converted there, they run the clock out, they burn the last timeout, the game is over. We're having a whole different discussion. There's no overtime. The game's over. They escape and they're 5-2, and it's a very different feeling because all they got to do now, if they were 5-2, they just got to win 1 out of 5 to get a bowl. And that's all. That's pretty much all anyone asks at this point to get a bowl game. Now you got to win 2 out of 5, and your realistic chances is, geez, I don't know. I don't see where you get 2 wins. Like Arizona is not a dub. I mean, it's not a guarantee. There's no guarantee, but it's not a. It wouldn't be a almost automatic dub. Now you're looking at that like, are they going to actually play? Are they going to play down to the competition, or what? This game right here is in UCLA. This is a ranked team. Oregon State has been good this year. Oh my God, DJ Ugly. Oh my God, I can't say his name, but y'all know who he is. The guy from Clemson. He seems to have resurged. He's got his mojo back. He seems to be thriving, and that's going to be at home. But I mean, the later the season gets, the harder these teams are going to play because they're trying to get seeding their seeding situations right. They're trying to maybe possibly get into the playoff. You don't know what could happen by the time they get this deep in the season. They're definitely going to be playing for the Pac-12. So all these teams are going to be playing to win and dominate. And other than like Arizona, but Arizona's going to play. It seems like everyone plays Colorado, which is the weirdest thing in the world to play. A 4-3 team is your Super Bowl. That is the weirdest stuff I've ever heard in my life. That's not that really. Come on, dog. Somebody said that last night. Stanford's playing like this is their Super Bowl. Come on, dog. It's you. Damn, you act like Colorado was 7-0 or something. You act like USC don't exist. You act like Oregon don't exist. Like, come on, dog. So yeah. Then the Arizona game, that's the last home game. Like I said, that's no guarantee now anyway. There's no near guarantee. Then you got Washington State and Utah, which will be playing for, to try to get into that final Pac-12 title game ever. And those are both on the road. And this could get really ugly, really fast. I'm telling you, dog. There's certain games during the season you need to win because there's a realistic possibility they don't win another game this year. I really hope that doesn't happen because that would be, oh my God, like 2 in a row. This was expected, and this could have been flipped if they had called the right plays. Real talk, some of the end game decision making, they could with some of the decision making in these 2 games, you flip them around, you turn those into W's, they would be 5-1 right now. Or they'd be 6-1. Excuse me, they'd be 6-1 right now with a couple more better calls and time management. You don't know what could happen in them games. Could you imagine they were 7-1 right now and not 4-3? Good God, they would. First of all, they'd be in the top 25, definitely. Well, could you? I don't know if you could put them in there because they don't have. It wouldn't have any. I gotta say, TCU still ranked. Are they still ranked, or is that just an old thing? No, wait. Okay, that's just they didn't change it. Okay, so yeah, I get it. Say they're 3-3. Okay, so yeah, so they really don't have any quality wins. So I guess you couldn't put them in the top 25. But yeah, I mean 71 would be impressed. But I mean, there's a lot of facts. I mean, it's not all on Deion. Some of that is just playmaking. Some you got to as much as you can coach these guys, they got to go out there and want to tackle. You'd be surprised how much the fundamentals are so important when it comes to these games. No matter what sport you come down to, because when I keep bringing up the fatigue thing, fatigue shows you the guy. The thing with fatigue is it shows you the guy that really knows the fundamentals and the guy that really doesn't. Because when you get really exhausted, you can't do your talent. Your talent is predicated on your stamina. If you got the energy, you can unleash that talent. But when your energy is low, it's really hard to display that talent. That's where you got to go back to the fundamentals. It's just like in basketball. A lot of these guys are really, really good 3-point shooters, but shooting threes all day and shooting jump shots is very tiring. So what happens when you start missing a bunch of 3-point shots? Well, fundamentally, you go closer to the basket to make the shot easier. A lot of guys don't want to do that. They want to keep shooting and shooting and shooting and hoping if something goes in. And I know they say once you watch one go in, the rest will come. But yeah, how about you go to the basket and try and watch that layup go in and see how much that boosts your confidence. Just like in football. Sometimes it's not even about an impressive catch. Sometimes if you just run the right route correctly, you run a clean route, you'll get open. You block, you pick up a block here and there, you get a good chunk of yards. You know what I'm saying? You play your route defensively well, you play your zone, you play your assignment well. It's all about fundamentals when it comes down to everything. At the end of the day, it comes down to fundamentals and coaching. And that's one thing they apparently they still cannot get right. And it's going to get the schedule does them no favor. Everyone's ranked. So this all looks old. Let me see. Let me see the rankings. Rankings. Let me check out the rankings. So top 25. So let me see. Let me see. So let's see. Oregon State's 15, Utah 16, Washington State's 19. Who else is on that list? Who else I didn't see? There was another team. Oh, UCLA. Look at that. The 4 out of the 5 the games they play is everyone that they're in the top 20. Like, bro, like come on, dog. Like this stuff is going to get really bad. Like I said, I'll still make the picks every week. Just because the picks are pretty much based on what you take from the previous game. That's all you can do when you make pick videos. You take what you're seeing from the previous week, you analyze it, you make your prediction. That's all you can do. But judging from today, unless luckily they have a bye. But like I said, that bye hurts them now because with the loss, and you got an extra week to sit around and stew on the loss that shouldn't have happened. If they lose the next 5 games, I wouldn't be shocked. I really wouldn't be shocked. Let's be real. I would not be shocked. If they do happen to win a couple of these games, congrats to them. They'll get that bowl. But honestly, looking back at this, they should already be bowl eligible. I know some people will take, hey, that's a great seed. We had 3 more wins than last year. Very true, but that also, you can't just look at the record. You have to look at how the record transpired. At this point in the season, they were 4-3, and then they didn't win another game. That's a bad setback to have. So, yeah, man. This game may have ended, I guess, any shot at a bowl for them, really. This might have ended their season. And to be fair, like, for the normal folks out there, they didn't have any expectations. Clearly, Deion Sanders had expectations for the team. You should have expectations to win. You know what I'm saying? He never said, oh, my God. That was almost an amazing interception. I got the Florida State game on. There's another reason why I made this video now. Because all the games are really bad right now. If you look up top at my screen, all the games are blowout. Oh, Alabama came back. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna pop that on after I'm done. But yeah, man, that was just a disappointing loss. And I guess one final thing, the thing with Shador saying, I don't know what happened. Something happened. I guess something happened. Don't get because I missed. Like I said, I missed that third quarter run. So I don't know. Maybe there was something I missed. I probably got to go back and watch like some highlights of what happened because it seemed like he was doing this thing, and maybe he was just hiding it, and maybe it just kind of it finally unraveled for him when he threw that third down pass, and he missed Travis. That pass was wide open. He just oversold it. I don't know what happened, and then he just kind of went to the sideline and just like his demeanor like completely changed from that point. It seemed like he just really did not. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. Maybe he just didn't want to be there anymore. Maybe he was just frustrated. He was sick of it. I guess. Um, I don't know, man. And then like I said that overtime. First of all, they sent him out there by himself. That Dion does some weird stuff, but I've never seen that where you send one guy out there as the captain for the coin toss. At a minimum, you should have three. You should have an offensive captain, a defensive captain, at a minimum, and then probably like a third team captain, right? That's just how I've always seen it. That's just how we always had it. We had it at a minimum. You had three. I think when I at one point when I played football, we had four captains out there. Um, it just depends on the team, but you should have at least three captains or leaders. In this case, that's what he calls this team. You got leaders and dogs. But the fact that they sent him out there by himself, he didn't even have his helmet on. He just kind of walked out there with the helmet while the ref was explaining the overtime rules, as he has to, obviously, because everyone doesn't know. And just to refresh, make sure everyone understands what's about to happen, so there's no confusion. And he looked like he didn't want to be out there, or I guess he was just so confident that they were just going to win the toss and get the ball and win the game. I don't know that look just didn't vibe well with me, so I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too deep into it. I don't know. But yeah, that's it for me. It was a lot to unpack in this because, dang man, because I want to see them successful, man. It would be a nice story for them to make at least make a bowl game. You know what I'm saying? That'd be cool. Um, to go from one win to a bowl appearance. Yeah, like I said, in college football, for most teams, a bowl game invite is basically what you play for every year. Obviously you got the big boys who play. They're playing for conference titles and you know national titles. That's their goals. But some you got to start small. You got to work your way up. Sometimes they were a really bad team last year. They're a much improved team. They're not all the way up there yet. Obviously, they're not. They don't have the overall all team talent that that they need right now to truly compete. Because, like I said, if they had that kind of talent, the games like the Stanford game, the Arizona State game, the Colorado State, the Nebraska game, none of them games, they would be looking a lot cleaner. You know what I'm saying? And they would actually probably would have competed better with Oregon. But yeah, I don't know. That was just weird. And then I'm looking at the team leader stats. Just one last thing. Um, this is disgusting. They're 7 games in. He leads the team with 250 rushing yards. That is insane. Yeah, Kirk. Yeah, he's right. Colorado's there a long way to go. Of course they do. That wasn't. No one was denying that. But like, damn, like that's a game they should have won. Like they had their stretch of the season where they had a lot of winnable football games, and they didn't capitalize. It is what it is. But like I said, we'll see in the upcoming weeks. I can't believe we have 5 weeks of the regular season left already. That was so quick. But yeah, this is funny. This is funny. I just wish they had watches. Like no one's really going to understand this without watches. But anyway, Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.